think Fundora is on a high right now. Keith Thurman is on his way back, trying to make himself, trying to get back to some lofty status that he had. But so yeah, it was a good fight, and I'm really sad about Cool Boy Steph and Shocky Foster not getting the fight. I feel like the show must go on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the show must go on, and I feel like they could have put together another thousands of fighters out there. They could have put together another undercard for Keith Thurman and them when they rematch it. But I think to do those guys like that, the champions that they are, and then I think that's wrong on that part.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. So, you know, in other words, obviously, when we listen to Eddie Hearn talk about Boots and you know, um, he does have people that are showing up to the events. Maybe not as much as when there's a better opponent. But as far as that is concerned, do you feel like that's going to hold some weight as far as going to get some of these titles? Maybe not with Virgil Ortiz and Golden Boy, but maybe some of the other champions. Do you feel like he'll get that leverage, and do you feel like he'll get that A side treatment as well?
I'm not saying that we putting too much weight on uh boxing is not as big as it once was. Okay.
Mm,
And it's a lot of people tuning in watching boxing anyway. If you got any kind of reputation, anything, people are watching. So now, as far as spending their hard-earned money, it all depends. Of course, this is hometown. Philadelphia is a fighting town, so he can fill those stadiums up. They got a loyal fan base. They always have had a loyal fan base, and pretty much, you can do that. You can, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Philadelphia is a fine city, and there's nothing wrong with building yourself in the hometown. I think Ray Mancini did that when he was in Youngstown. It's plenty of fighters do that, or the market to where the Hispanics, where it's Texas or California or some of that nature. You know what I mean? They put them in a situation of where they will be successful, where they can get the most people in seats or whatever. But I think Boots, he's having a he's got a following. He's got a following. It's just people want to see him fight somebody of substance. That's it. And that's just the number one thing. Every time you hear somebody, is that's what they want to see. He's cold. We I don't know how many times I can say this. And he looked spectacular last night. The combinations that he threw, the everything that he did. But okay, boxing is hard. Boxing is hard. It's hard, and everybody got to get a lot of credit for getting up in there. But we're talking about a different level of fighters. We're not talking about club fighters. We're talking about a hybrid of Terence Crawford, who was a long stable and still the best fighter in the world, a three-time undisputed champion, a five-weight world champion who just beat the great Canelo Alvarez in a shutout, jumping up three weight classes. Okay, mixed. Not only that, but he's mixed with Roy Jones, who was the prime. I mean, like the baddest, fastest, hardest punching dude you've seen in since Sugar Ray Robinson. And this guy's mixed with these guys. Okay, so actually, if you got actually what they call that a cheat code, right? So if you got that type of guy, I mean, who could beat a guy like that? I mean, that's like a game. I mean, who could you who if you I'm just saying, if you got a guy like that, or let's just like Michael Jordan mixed with LeBron James. If Michael Jordan was six, however big LeBron James is, could do all the moves that he do, and mixed with whatever LeBron James got, and mixed with Michael Jordan. I mean, who could beat this guy? He could win the championship single handedly.
mm,
He like Will Chamberlain back in the when they was. So I'm saying, if we talking about a guy that's got this hybrid, there's no need for a tune-up. He should be wiping out all the champions. There's no need for a tune-up. He's like It's like when Roy Jones was fighting them dudes. He was making them look like nothing. He was so far ahead of everybody. Roy Jones didn't have no competition. He hurried up and smoked everybody. Smoked James Toney. Went to light heavyweight, knocked out Reggie Johnson. Smoked everybody as soon as he got tested. But see what I'm saying? Even Roy Jones. Now, Montel Griffin gave him the fits, right? Gave
Yeah,
him the
wow.
fits. Gave him the fits. But Montel Griffin was a good fighter. He was a silver medalist. Montel Griffin was a silver medalist. He had beat James Toney twice. You
Yeah,
understand? So
yeah.
Montel Griffin was solid for a short time. He, like I say, he gave Roy Jones fits. Roy didn't know where he was going with him. Roy was having a hard time with him, which all fighters are human. They're human, no matter
Yeah,
how
he
good they
had his
are.
time.
All of them looked at average at some point. All of them had everybody, all the great ones. You can't name a great one that didn't all that look pristine every time. There's not a great world champion that looked pristine every single time. So
Mm.
to perform consistently on a high level means something. So like I'm saying, this guy, if he's these mixed these guys, there's no need for a tune-up. He should be
Mm.
smoking these guys because these guys ain't. They're really good guys, but these guys ain't Hall of Famers and they ain't pound for pounders.
Look at this is nasty work. Brand Bud had a tune up at 54. He talking about Madrimov, undefeated Madrimov.
Well, let's
Was
see
that a tune
this.
up?
Madrimov was the champion, right?
Right.
Madrimov was the champion. Um, we called out Charlo
Don't know who he beat to get that title.
Madrimov. He
Yeah.
fought some other Russian dude. He fought some other Russian dude and stopped him for the title. Okay, it's cool. But let's put it in perspective. Okay, so who was the champions at the time when Crawford fought? He couldn't
At
get nobody.
54,
Mhm.
remember Charlo had all the belts.
Okay, and Charlo, what he said? I'm fighting it's on camera. I'm fighting Canelo. Man, I'm fighting Canelo. Bud grabbed his nuts on him and told him, "You next." Bud grabbed his nuts on him, told him, "You next." Then hold up though. Then okay, so we fight. Okay, that's cool. We fight Madrimov. They giving us a lot of credit for his background, for his amateur background. Okay, okay. Buzzsaw type of guy, not that many fights. Okay, but the next fight we wanted was Fundora.
I
Fundora
talked to
told him no.
Fundora about that situation as well.
Fundora
He
told him
got a
no.
little aggravated with me.
Yeah, because Fundora told him no. They still wanted after what Crawford did to Spence. They still said Spence was a bigger draw than Crawford.
I remember
So
that.
we were so again. So now we're talking about money. We're talking about some other shit that don't got to do with being the best. I still want to fight Spence because he's perceived as more popular, but he just got destroyed. So I don't want to fight the guy that just literally obliterated him. So I can be that guy. I just want to fight the guy that got obliterated for fandom, for fame, for popularity. What kind of champion is that? What does that say? I'm just saying. So Crawford goes after this guy, and he can't get that guy. So, like I say, it's nothing really at no 54. So he shoots his sights because he's bigger than that. So he shoots at the highest target you can get, which Canelo Alvarez. Which Canelo Alvarez. Like I say, right now, you haven't seen it's so many portraits getting made for Bud Crawford. If you go on your Instagram story and type in a song by for Bud Crawford, you're gonna get like 10 songs made after Bud Crawford with his title with his name on it. Nobody is celebrating a champion like they did Bud Crawford. Crawford is like Joe Louis. He's getting celebrated from all over. You don't even find that
Grades.
nobody, his peers are anointing him. Now, so when your peers, your side by side peers are anointing you, who are the fuck are you on the internet that don't know shit about boxing? These are his peers. Bivol, Andre Ward, Shakur Stevenson,
Usyk.
Usyk. I mean, everybody. They're anointing this guy. So you think motherfucker give a fuck about a silly motherfucker on the internet saying shit that don't know shit about no boxing, couldn't tell you nothing about no boxing. All they doing is watching and listening to what everybody else saying. and everybody just hate because Bud make you look bad when you put a mirror to your face because he walked like a champion, talk like a champion, and like I'm saying, uh, you never had no. They still the people so desperate and hate so bad and so sick and terrible, even they can't even look themselves in the mirror. When you got a guy who's been uh blackballed and y'all don't feel no type of way about that.
Mm,
Blackball, blackball, blackball. Who been blackballed like that outside of Regandown?
talk to him.
So I'm saying, so you got all these people talking, and then again, I'm saying he fought Ricky Burns, who was a world champion. He didn't get upgraded to champion. He fought Ricky Burns, who was a two-weight world champion outright. Fought his first title defense against Gamboa, who was an undefeated knockout puncher, ultra talented guy, gold medalist at that. And he had a classic fight with him and stopped him. Fought the number one contender in that division because Broner had left the lightweight division was not as popular as whatever. So he fights the number one contender, beats him, nowhere to go after that. Can't make weight, hard to make weight. Goes to 140, beats a puncher in Delorme. Okay. If you know anything about HBO boxing, you should see how they was pumping Delorme till he lost to Abregu. They brought him down from 47 to 40. He had a couple wins. He knocks out Delorme easy. Goes and unifies against Ndongo against Postal. Postal was a fear guy. Everybody knows in boxing around how Postal was. Undefeated, mind you. Eastern European puncher,
Puncher.
boxer, long range fighter. Okay. Beats him to a poke. Beats him easy. Fights Ndongo, who Ndongo beat an undefeated guy for his IBF championship. Let's not forget that he beat a undefeated guy for his championship. Now, these ain't famous guys. These ain't guys that got everybody got they like everybody's trying to lay out the red carpet for them. He beats this guy, IBF champion, stops him. Then he fights Ricky Burns, who was again now was who had became a three-weight world champion, beats him to unify his titles. Okay. Bud disposes of him, becomes undisputed champion, moves up, fights Jeff Horn, who in his previous fight gave Manny Pacquiao, the great Manny Pacquiao, whether you thought he won or lost, he gave him. It was not an easy walk in the park for Pacquiao. It was a hard fight. It was a close fight. It was an ugly fight. Beat him, beat beat him like easy. And then, like I said, this is all on record. You got Keith Thurman saying the WBO belt don't mean nothing. You got Danny Garcia saying he ain't popular enough. You got Sean Porter staying quiet. You got Mikey Garcia saying he's gonna run. You got Errol Spence talking about the other side of the street. And Crawford didn't have not one reason to not fight those guys. Not one. Not one. Then you had his own promoter. It's like your mama talking shit about you. You got your own promoter talking about he losing money, spreading propaganda on you. Why? Every fight Bud, wherever he went, was a packed house. It wasn't ever no empty seats when he fought in Madison Square Garden against Diaz. It wasn't no empty seats when he fought against Jeff Horn. It wasn't no empty seats in there. Okay, he had some of the highest ratings on HBO. Let's not forget that his viewership ratings were very high. So you got a guy like that who got a different alternative because they owe Bud money, and Bud stood on his business and wanted his money. So they're going to spread false rumors about you to try to get people not to fuck with you because they're trying to put you in a situation not knowing how real Bud is. So Bud willing to stand on whatever he got to stand on to do what he need to do, which is give me my motherfucking money. As you seen him after the Sean Porter fight, he told him right there in the press conference, everybody right there, he shamed them all right there in front of him. Shamed them all right there in front of them. But these all these haters shamed them, told them right to their face, y'all couldn't get me to fight. Y'all wouldn't give me the Pacquiao fight. Y'all wouldn't secure me the this fight. Shit, what I'm gonna do? I'm gone. Fuck y'all. I did it my way. He did it his way. He did it his way. So how you know what I'm saying? So these are things like I was going back. Crawford beat undefeated world champions for his titles. Postal was undefeated. Ndongo was undefeated. Jeff Horn was undefeated. Gamboa, when he defended the title, was undefeated. Ricky Burns had only a few losses when he beat him. Earl Spence was undefeated. Sean Porter had arguably his fights could have went 50-50, so
Jose
he could have.
Benavides undefeated.
Benavidez and the title defense was undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, so what are we talking about over here? There's no real comparison. And then he looked at Masterclass doing it. He didn't struggle with none of those guys. Didn't
Mm,
struggle with none of those guys. You go back and watch, you can study Crawford.
hmm.
Okay. Now I'm just saying. Now, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, if I'm making this up, prove me wrong in any situation.